Welcome back to the Outer Worlds 2, where we're looking forward to actually encountering non-hostile humans. We assume there are some here. And if my map is to be believed, they're not too far away. I think I may have already looted these creatures, these people. Oh, great. I just love wasting. I don't even know what I wasted. That's how clueless I am. But whatever it is, it's an awfully big deal. Refugees this way. Boy, that looks like a trick if I ever saw one.
Refugees, looks like. And after that strike, there'll only be more at the gates.
Another refugee? All right, step forward. Just a moment. Allowing anyone into Matriarch's Mercy unprocessed will upset the precarious ratio of refugees to aid. We should have an opportunity for placement in approximately 7.85 days, presuming no unforeseen alterations.
I'm not a refugee. I'm here on orders from Ruth.
Ah, I seem to recollect one matching your description set for arrival. Pardon my slowing your ingress. It has been rather hectic of late. Welcome to Matriarch's Mercy. Rule number 1, no crowding. Rule number 2, avoid the exclusion zone. Our seer has predicted non-specific imminent danger. I thought the name was self-explanatory. Our seer predicted that a corner of the encampment is in terrible danger. Danger from what? Or when? Unclear. Stay away from it, and, in all probability, you won't have to find out.
You take those warnings seriously.
Our predictions spring from the universal equation, the very numbers that guide the stars. Only a fool ignores probability, and we don't suffer fools around these parts.
Is there rule number 3?
Not at present, but according to our predictions, the creation of a third rule is likely, if not inevitable.
Okay, thanks.
You need anything, talk to Seer Wiley. He's in the lift building, straight through the settlement.
I guess that's inevitable.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. The invaders, and the order defecting. There's no putting this sprat back into the can.
Cloister is looking pretty good right about now.
Wasteland devoid of life? No.
This Dunsany family is not very popular around here, are they?
Algorithmic dissonance? Don't even like the sound of it. How could something be incalculable? Why, the very idea is preposterous. And then we solve for the... apologies. Just catching up on a research assignment between queries. Yes? Did you need something?
Yes, the square root of pi.
Oh, doesn't everyone have that memorized? It's 1.77245385. Ah, I see you were making a jest and/or attempt at conversation. Anything else?
Well, your response was awfully imprecise, but I guess we'll take it. How do you feel about living here?
They must be exceptionally pleased with the statistical jump correlated to residents within Matriarch's Mercy. Numbers here are pretty compelling. According to data, life inside shows a notable uptick in key relevant quality of life factors. Longevity, access to medicine, potable water. Life outside sees increased risk of starvation, inclement weather, and hostile xenofauna. Yes, indeed. Numbers are really against you out there.
Yes. Don't want to be eaten by raptidons.
By quite a healthy statistical margin, yes. We nurture the body while we minister to the mind. We organize, we adapt. We have diverted internal resources to better meet demand in key areas. And I'm pleased to say that's led to a statistically significant 2.7% increase in refugee satisfaction. But if my data remains unconvincing, I suggest you inquire with Provisioner Plotnik inside the lift building. Simply tell her Archivist Widmark approves brief use of her time.
Thanks.
Then back to it I shall get.
Well, there's a lot of people here, and none of them seem hostile.
How long are we meant to stay here?
Ask the Order. I'm not in the prediction business.
None of them seem
How
that
long
useful
are we meant
either.
to stay here?
Ask the Order. I'm not in the prediction business.
Okay. A lot of people with little to
Broke my
say.
nose last scrap. Or, I guess Raleigh Dortmunder did it, huh? I still don't get any of this.
Friends, neighbors, while you shelter in Matriarch's mercy, heed the teachings of the Order. Apologies, outsider. As a vicar, I am usually tasked with guiding non-order lay people, such as yourself. Lately, the abbot has tasked me with the education of the refugees in our care. You are, of course, free to stay to be enlightened by my lecture, but I don't need an abacus to predict your path lies elsewhere.
Yeah, I like abacuses.
Ah, frivolous jocularity is one of a vicar's key methods for establishing rapport with lay people. If we gab a bit, I might restock my arsenal for witty rejoinders and quips.
What's going on here?
Yes, I reckon I do have my ear to the grimy dirt floor of Matriarch's mercy. I hear what common lay people are saying, and the wide array of bodily noises they make. Suppose I, more than any other member of the Order here, connect with non-scienticians. I've begun daily lectures, including practical advice on efficiently planning their days. I frequently launch into extended orations on everyone's favorite topic, math, and meticulously expatiate on our sex origins in the most rigorously pedantic detail.
Yeah, but what's going on here?
Oh, dear. I got ahead of myself, didn't I? That's an occupational hazard around here. As I'm sure you've read in recent dissertations doing the rounds, education has proven to have a 13.7% increase in overall quality of life. I am single-handedly making a difference here, with constructive pointers on efficient scheduling, lessons on order history, plus some mathematics for a little added razzle-dazzle.
Yeah, good job.
If you've enjoyed my peroration, make sure to tune into the Ask a Vicar segment on Grand Plan Wireless for more expounding declamations.
Wouldn't miss it. What on earth is this? Mound of wreckage. You see a large pile of seemingly unrelated debris. What this once was isn't readily apparent at first glance. However, I'm an engineer. You determined this was an improvised structure, possibly multi-story, before its collapse. Internal load-bearing elements clearly proved insufficient. You see a large pile of seemingly unrelated debris. What it once was isn't readily apparent at first glance. It seems this once was an improvised structure of some kind. Yes.
Shame what happened there. I seen the whole thing.
I'm not observant at all, so I can't discover much there. Order of the Ascendant, Bounty Terminal. I have no bounty. So Jane Dunsany, yes, we've seen lots of posters for that family. repeated and indiscriminate slaughter of Order personnel. Yeah, I can see how that would annoy them. Unlike her brothers, Jan Dunsany appears to bear some vestige of duty from her prior life in the Protectorate. Unfortunately, this has manifested in a hatred for the Order. She seems to believe that the Protectorate has treated us too gently and that we must be executed as traitors. She has already made good on this belief in the dozens. Jan Dunsany currently resides in the Scrapper's Den with her gormless fellows. For their crimes, they must be eliminated. And apparently that's her brothers. Morton and Edward Dunsany belong to the many Protectorate subjects abandoned by their local leaders. However, rather than turning to us for aid, the duo instead partook in petty banditry. They have since acquired many fellow ne'er-do-wells and have swiftly become a problem too troublesome to ignore. The brothers reside within the abandoned Guardian estates on the southwest region of Golden Ridge. Note that due to catastrophic damage to our tram infrastructure, the mountain on which the estates reside must be ascended. Breaching the scavengers' lines may be difficult, but those who succeed shall be amply rewarded.
Watch
Howdy.
yourself if you intend to nose around that collapsed ramshackle. I swear, refugee settlements aren't what they used to be.
Oh, that used to be more than debris?
Yes, technically a hut is meant to be only one story, because when you stack them, they tend to fall over. Happens a lot. People here need more room to breathe. Can't build in the walkways, can't set up in the exclusion zone, so they build up. Best they can, at least. Don't have proper building material or nothing. They just make do. After a while, the stacked up little huts they jury-rigged come tumbling down.
A lot of injuries?
Oh, you put that together, did you? Here, I thought I was being subtle. Yeah, people keep at it. What else choice they have? Order won't listen. Maybe if we interspersed our requests with numbers, they'd pay attention. Seems like all they care about sometimes.
Unspecified dangers are predicted in these areas at an indeterminate point in time.
Oh, well, that's very specific. All right, well, I've encountered a lot of people who will talk to us. Not a whole lot that have anything interesting to say.
What is
Howdy.
it? I have 15 seconds of allotted time for non-specific discourse, so choose your words with expediency. Oh, new arrivals. Of an independent operative nature, one presumes. Did the abbot assign you to help?
No, but it looks like you need it.
Yes. Unfortunately, you are the first to notice. Infrastructure requests from the displaced exceed present resource capacity. The mounting accumulation of prevailing desideratum is regrettably beyond us. Or beyond me, more to the point. I am simply one person, impossibly stretched thin, and unable to attend to the needs of the displaced.
Well, let me say something smart to you.
Why, yes. And here I assumed I was speaking to a, no offense, layperson. Tell me, what do you know of the exclusion zone?
It's being kept off limits for shady
Excuse
reasons.
me, but the intricate dance of the cosmos is anything but shady. You see, the seer predicted that a calamity would befall the exclusion zone, warning that the barrier must not be crossed. But the ever-disruptive voice of the displaced is dead set on occupying the exclusion zone anyway, laughing in the face of certain peril.
So they're unstoppable and you're unmovable.
Indeed, and I'm hoping that's where you come in. The seer has augured death for anyone who enters the exclusion zone. Yes, you heard me right. Death. Furthermore, and I quote, an outside mediator, having earned the confidence of both sides, has a high likelihood of clearing up an ongoing dispute. We can't have the voice of the displaced sowing disorder. Will you help us? Will you be our outside mediator, as was foretold?
Where would I begin?
The first step is to familiarize yourself with every angle of the dispute. Talk to the people of Matriarch's Mercy. The displaced want the exclusion zone. We want it kept off limits. We can't both be right. Feel free to speak with the voice of the displaced herself if you aren't already acquainted. Any questions before you get started?
Voice of the
I
displaced?
can tell you she's a rabble-rouser of the highest order. Still, she cleaves to her principles. That's something. You can find her outside, among her people, stubbornly defying an order barricade.
You said I was foretold?
Novice Seer Vicarage should have ample time to illuminate you on the Order's forecast modeling methods. He's just down the room from here.
Okay. So, if I learn enough, I can resolve this dispute?
According to predictions, yes. Or at least, my interpretation of them. I am reasonably certain. More than usual, in fact. Many people around camp support or object to our methods. Speak to them, form your own opinion, and when you are ready, we will decide the fate of the exclusion zone.
All right, then. You look like a vendor of some type.
1,068.5 pardons, but my attention is presently 99.81% occupied, coordinating provisions and supplies for the displaced.
Archivist Widmark suggested I speak to you.
Well, if the archivist said so, I suppose I can factor out a moment. As the assigned provisioner, I am responsible for coordinating the requisition and distribution of comestibles, medicinals, and miscellaneous vital supplies. The overwhelming majority of my time is dedicated to this, leaving only moments to see to the Order's needs in the settlement. But it is an effort I undertake with great relish. You may not have noticed, but the refugees do not want for food or medicine.
Yeah, I don't think the displaced have noticed either.
With the great disruption that has occurred to their lives, one could hardly blame them. That they are fed and remain healthy is sufficient for me.
I bet you're more stressed than you let on.
The Order of the Ascendant is dedicated to the ascension of humanity. Our ultimate goal may not be reached in our lifetime. If I can help others in need today, I shall do so to the utmost extent of my abilities and resources.
All right, then.
Appreciate you respecting my time.
By the law. It's you.
Right.
Oh, thank the architect you're finally here. I've scarcely breathed while hoping you'd come. I am in desperate need of your help.
Yeah, you don't know me.
True, but the Order's predictions know you better than you know yourself.
Okay. What do you mean?
Recently, I had a rare opportunity to ask the Seer for guidance. He told me that a dashing outsider would answer my prayers.
Dashing?
The prediction was a fluke, but here you are, a dashing outsider standing before me.
And they made that calculation?
Strictly speaking, it isn't. Not yet. But the math is very, very, very good at predicting what is probably most likely, extremely possible. In theory. Within a margin of error. Anyway, that is the Seer's business. My business is the health and welfare of this camp.
Okay, what are conditions in the camp?
As a doctor, I'm appalled. We don't have enough beds or private quarters to separate people, so sickness is blazing an unhappy trail through the refugees. Of course, the Order keeps us well supplied with meds, but things will get worse as long as we're overcrowded. Yes, I can treat sickness as it arises. It would be leagues better to prevent it entirely. That means space to spread out.
Like that forbidden zone.
Since you asked, you can run this medicine to Horst Lamping. Just don't shake the man's hand. He has a habit of coughing into his palm when he covers it at all.
You needed my help with something else?
You see, the Seers are members of the Order who labor over the universal equation. Even in its unfinished state, the equation gives them the means to predict the future. Recently, I had a rare opportunity to ask the Seer for guidance. He told me that a dashing outsider would answer my prayers. I feared the prediction was a fluke, but here you are, a dashing outsider standing before me.
Yeah, if you have something for me to do, then tell me.
Forgive me. Thoughts of destiny and predictability tend to raise my blood pressure. Where to begin? There are so many sick and wounded in Matriarch's Mercy, and I have but 2 imperfect hands. I am but a humble general practitioner. What I really need are specialists, and the Seer predicted an outsider would find them.
Inez?
Might have time to patch up 1 or 2 patients before we head out. I used to be a combat medic. A good one, too.
You also strike me as someone on the go. I need committed medical employees, not a freelancer. The seer gave me a datapad with explicit instructions that I not read it, for my intervention could only throw probability into disarray.
Of course.
Take the datapad, with my thanks.
Okay. Well, I guess I've got some reading to do. Where do we keep data pads? Tossball card. Mechanist badge. Yes, I'm kind of thinking that's just going to be a journal entry. So I flew to Dorado, and a courier stopped me. Yes, we know this. This happened. I received a mysterious message. Invites me to speak with Abbot Newell, and we haven't met that person yet. Starts the refugee camp to identify what occurred there. Gave me a data pad with instructions on where to find help. Okay. Seer's prediction. Though you may be a stranger to these lands, you shall help us in locating medical specialists essential to the health and well-being of Matriarch Mercy. Be they formally trained or unconventional in approach, rest assured that they will be welcomed with open arms. 1. A taxidermist, a savant with needle and thread, can be found within the bounds of Matriarch's Mercy. 2. An automechanical that has fallen prey to scrappers is located to the west, in the Guardian Estates. 3. A plumber, a specialist in the most depraved and yet essential biological functions, is currently in the trenches of combat. We thank you for your forthcoming assistance, Seer Wiley. Okay.
You're right. The universe does not orient itself toward fairness. But it's my firm belief humanity can do better.
All evidence to the contrary.
Please select from the following options. Call the lift or exit. Well, we have to call the lift from all the way down there? What's
I've
up?
got your numeral. Keep moving.
Ah, I pleasantly anticipated this exact moment. My personalized order prediction and weekly prognostics report both mentioned encountering an unforeseen factor about now. I suppose that designation doesn't wholly apply to you, though, does it? Predicting future events is an imprecise science. Currently, that is. Well then, I read that you'd have questions about our predictive methods, correct?
You have a desk.
True, my situation does lack a certain refinement. Regrettably, this is Matriarch's Mercy. We all must do the best we can with limited means.
So what's going on?
Matriarch's Mercy is brimming beyond capacity with those cast out by war. But we of the Order rise to every challenge and continually strive to better our guests' existence.
Good on
Why,
you.
I, for instance, have availed my predictive methods to our refugee neighbors in the area.
So you lack any substantial ways to help them.
There's nothing more practical than improving lives now, is there? We've offered the displaced access to our weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions. Engagement is admittedly rather low, but at least one member of the camp reports he has benefited from them greatly.
Okay. How can I help?
I believe my services will be increasingly sought after the more of the displaced learn of our methods. Vicar Orendi, for instance, is assiduously occupied with such efforts. One of our recent guests, Rollo Nast, has received multiple personalized order predictions. I believe he could speak to the effectiveness of our ways firsthand. If my own humble assertions are not enough, I trust his attestations would convince you, and perhaps other members of the displaced as well.
Okay, I'll bite. How do you predict the future?
We utilize a mix of proprietary research methods to gather as complete a data set as possible, and advanced calculations using well-honed models to effectuate it. None of us predict events with complete accuracy or absolute detail.
Right.
We'd need to solve the universal equation to do that. Fortunately, we're all working very hard on that problem. The Department of Predictive Analysis provide weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions to help steer our followers' paths.
Do you tell them what to do?
More what to watch out for, advisement on adhering to the plan, forecasts of probabilistic dangers, elements of larger predictions made relevant to groups and individuals. The Department of Predictive Analysis is mainly populated by seers like myself, who represent the Order's most talented mathematicians. After years of study, some can predict events a few seconds or minutes into the future with reasonable precision. Others can estimate with up to 71.1% accuracy several months out. Of course, predictions have grown more difficult with the loss of the archive, but I am not to speak of that with an outsider. No offense.
So how do the weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions differ?
The former are generalized forecasts for groups or settlements. The latter are more specialized to individuals and take far more time to calculate. Usually some are handled by one of the more senior seers in a region. But with Seer Wiley's days taken up advising the abbots and other things, this responsibility falls to me. Regrettably, I have built up a bit of a sizable backlog. Well, I do believe you're needed elsewhere. Farewell.
Okay. I'm curious about what's up here. And apparently nothing. Be a great platform from which to make a speech, though. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone here cares about what I'd have to say.
Ah, you must be the, Earth Directorate agent I was told to expect. Your punctuality is commendable. Allow me to welcome you to Golden Ridge. I'm afraid I've no refreshments available, but can I interest you in a customary debate over decidability?
Let's say no.
Sensible. Straight to business, then. The presiding bishop sent word of your imminent arrival.
Okay.
However, pursuant to our normal standards of compartmentalization, she was scant on the details of your mission. That said, I've been instructed to assist you however I can. So, tell me, what brings you to Golden Ridge?
Yeah, let's cut to the chase. I'm trying to get DeVries.
DeVries? Now, why does that name ring familiar?
Blows things
do you
up.
recall a DeVries?
I don't generally concern myself with passers through. If this DeVries was not a member of the Order, then it's unlikely we ever exchanged maths.
Doesn't care about collateral data. Yeah. Clemens, do you know him?
Victor Clemens, some kind of radical. What an absurd notion.
I must agree with my seer. I once watched Victor shed copious tears over a damaged datapad. It's difficult to imagine him capable of worse.
Okay. A friend of the traitor I'm after said she and Victor had secret contacts with the Order.
And that may well be true. But our standard of proof within the Order is not normally met by hearsay alone. Victor's currently supervising highly experimental research at one of our labs to the northwest, the Enray Range, beyond the invaders' front lines.
Invaders?
Unfortunately, you'll need to go through the decommissioned autonomous extractorium to reach it. That path is less than safe, so I advise caution.
Okay. What's Victor doing?
What business is it of yours?
Let's not be unfriendly. The agent's only curious. Obviously, Victor's work has something to do with N-rays, but beyond that, I haven't a clue. More of that pesky compartmentalization, I'm afraid. Besides the highly caustic Serenium River and the Mantisaurs, we've also received reports of mad cultists in the area. It does make me wonder why Victor decided to stay.
Mad
Rift
cultists?
worshippers spouting inane theories.
Rift worshippers.
They began showing up prior to the invasion. The first sign of dysfunction in the Protectorate always starts small, doesn't it? Loath as I am to admit it, there may be some merit to your worries over a conspiracy within the Order, whether Victor is involved or not. As my predecessor would remind me, denying unpleasant facts is not good science. I would be remiss if I failed to support an investigation.
Okay, how can I help?
No doubt you heard of the recent attack launched on that Auntie's Choice base, Outpost Opportunity.
Nope.
It came from one of our facilities, the Zeranium Manufactory. But that facility is intended for research, not military action. I hate thinking an Order member responsible, but given the precision of the attack, it does suggest traitors in our midst. It would undoubtedly benefit both of us to root them out.
Respectfully, Scholar, given current tensions, should we really be trusting such a delicate task to this stranger? Would an internal review of our ranks not be more appropriate?
I thought we were getting along so well.
At a moment like this is only further evidence of your lack of good judgment.
I don't dispute the need for discretion, my friend, but the presiding bishop made the determination to send the agent to us. It's best we trust her calculations. Moreover, our situation is growing increasingly dire. I can't overstate my fears concerning this most recent attack ending the ceasefire and reigniting the war in Golden Ridge. One more thing. Your investigation into the traitors takes precedence, but if you could also render aid at Outpost Opportunity on our behalf, such a gesture might preserve the peace.
And you're sure the Order didn't intentionally attack Auntie's Choice?
Most assuredly not.
Okay.
It would eliminate the entire point of the ceasefire. Please convey that fact to whomever you speak with.
Got it. Got a lot of work to do.
I knew I could rely upon you. Ruth wouldn't have sent you otherwise. Here, take this writ of investigative inquiry. It'll grant you access to the manufactory. Seer Wiley and I will conduct our own inquest into these traitors you've mentioned erstwhile. We can compare notes once you've returned with your findings.
Wow. So I guess we'll try to open this door now. Input the code. Required info not found. Well, that's a shame. Okay, so we can't access that elevator at the moment. And the stairs go nowhere particularly interesting.
Where to first, Commander? Enray Range, Zeranium Manufactory, or Outpost Opportunity?
No idea. What's in here? I could get healed. It's not an urgent need.
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I predict, with an 8.23 margin of error, that
We're
our
not going
situation
anywhere.
will improve in time.
Not on the basis of some half-baked prediction. This so-called exclusion zone is where we stake our claim. Stand with me in defense of freedom. Except for the fact that you ain't yelling and trying to eat me. I'd have pegged you as some sort of prosperous scrapper by the rough look you got about you. You do got a certain feral look in your eye, though. Okay. I give up. Tell me.
Earth Directorate, Chuck.
May Huffstetler, formerly Auntie's Choice, Department of Invasive Marketing. Now, the voice of the displaced. That's what those in the Order call me, leastways. An unofficial sobriquet, likely meant as a petulant slight. On account I object. Louder. More often than the rest. Those of us ended up here have very little except needs. I turn those into demands for reasons of clarity and import.
I'm sorry, I'm still fascinated by sobriquet. Okay, helpful troublemaker is a noble calling.
Though, admittedly, it's a difficult way to make friends. The Order is not exactly fond of me. Rabble-rousing doesn't align with their vision of a perfect universe.
No, I
Happy
guess
as I
not.
am to make your acquaintance, I'm busy staking our claim over the exclusion zone, so if you'll excuse me.
Yeah, Administrator Agarwal wanted me to speak with you about that.
Oh, so that's how it is. You're the mediator that was foretold. Am I right? The Order
So it
wants us to
seems.
believe that a catastrophe is coming to the exclusion zone at any second. Why? Because math told them so. Screw their predictions. We have people displaced by war and disaster, in sore need of space. There's plenty of room to house them.
Yeah?
Thank you. That's what I've been trying to tell everyone. I honestly don't give the slightest whit about the Order's idea of math or whatever calculation tells them that a catastrophe may or may not occur. What does the Administrant want? To shut me up? To discredit me?
Yeah, I'm supposed to figure out what's going on and see if we can reach an agreement.
I don't know what the Administrant's game is, but call me intrigued. Best thing you can do is introduce yourself around camp. See why we need the exclusion zones open.
I'll do that. Thanks. Well, that's an obnoxious light. But I can't really see much without it. Doesn't appear I'm meant to see much without it.
Cause trouble and I will school you. Chapter and verse.
Noted.
What happened to this place? Law. Matriarch's Mercy is no safer than the trenches.
Look on the bright side. I predict that the worst is behind us.
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I predict, with an 8.2
Oh, good
margin
grief.
of error, that our situation will improve.
I banged him up real good for you, didn't I? I won you one, right? Matters settled. The void you did. Barely connected. You're thinking of 2-3 scraps ago. You've been mostly unconscious a while now.
Yeah, what's going on?
You used at least 2 words I ain't sure I know. And I already forgot the question. No? I think. You ought to talk to Boss Tilda. She's the brains in this... What does she call it? Oh, yeah. Quasi-illicit shenanigan. Doesn't like to look at us when we're all banged up. Said my face turned her off Borscht loaf. Anyhow, head down the hill along the fence. Tell her Mapother and Mudge sent you.
Mapother and Mudge. Well, there's a team.
Keep your lamps lit. Wherever there's trouble, there's always opportunists willing to profit from it.
I got a bunch of people in here who don't have anything to say.
Do me a kindness and mosey on.
Mm-hmm.
You got business? No? Move on.
If only I had a few spare bits to make it my business. Oh wait, I do.
Reckon you at least know how to oil the gears of ingress. Likely you ain't some protectorate or order stoolie. But I'm still gonna be watching. Go ahead.
Why did I come in here?
Salutations, friend. Not many find their way into my presence, but those that do possess only the finest of tastes. I
That's
do
me.
hope you'll pardon the rigmarole it took to meet me. The Order has such an antiquated philosophy on the smuggling of contraband.
Where does the Sub Rosa stand on the war?
We stand that we'd like to make a good ton of bits on the war, and maybe expand our reach in the process. Beyond that, I'm not supposed to comment. But Sub Rosa consists primarily of ex-Anti's Choice and ex-Protectorate personnel. We've still got folks we care about out there. Complicates some of our feelings on the fighting. But if
Yeah,
the
I guess
fighting
it would.
stops, our income begins to go dry. Feast thine eyes on the merchandise.
right. So we have a mediocre weapon. And we have injectors, damage resistance. Interesting. Movement speed. Advanced decryption key. How much are those? Oh, they're very expensive. Very expensive. Yeah, they still seem very expensive. Upcycled headgear. Very expensive. Well, I could afford them, but that would just about drain me. Yeah. Not tragically so, I suppose. All right, thanks.
Greetings. What can I help you with? Let me guess. One of your co-occupants is always hanging up his or her britches in your corner of the yurt. Am I right? Or you're dealing with more of a stay off my palate or that's my air you're breathing sort of thing. Pray elucidate the exact nature of your tiff of contention.
Yeah, tell me about this quasi-illicit shenanigan of yours.
Oh, a semi-informed customer. Well, we offer a wide array of proxy altercations, from restrained bludgeoning to flat-out scraps.
I see.
Here in Matriarch's Mercy, if you're not a member of the Order, you're probably living close to somebody else. In some cases, sleeping on top of them. Sort of thing tends to cause friction between neighbors. Would lead to fights, but nobody here wants trouble with the Order. So they hire our hooligans to battle by proxy.
So they fight using stand-ins.
Half the time, people shy away at the first sight of blood. The other, that's what they're there for. We say whoever wins the fight wins the argument. But frankly, it's never anything of consequence, like, okay, hurrah! This guy gets back his mangy button. Now, how can I help you exactly?
Just wondered about the situation in the camp.
Ugh, a tourist. Well, clear out then, huh? Can't have you scaring off real customers. I got a bunch of yeggs, 2 pugilized pugilists, and a sick canid to feed.
Sorry for wasting your time. Okay. So, we're supposed to talk to Rolo Nast, whoever that is.
Look,
Yeah,
your nose
Rollo.
was just a stand-in for Duarte's nose. Don't feel like no champion.
Ah. Well, that would explain why I missed this person.
Hello. You weren't mentioned in my latest personalized order projection. Prediction. Granted, I mostly skim the parts what don't cover probabilistic dangers, so perhaps you were alluded to in some, roundabout fashion.
Maybe.
Suppose that means you're not a threat. So that's good, right? Yeah, I reckon that's good.
Yeah. Vicarage, you know him?
I'll say, I try not to make any big plans until I consult my latest POP. First time I got a POP, it was on a lark. It said, Rolo Nast, our seer has predicted you must wear a helmet today. I borrowed one. As a laugh, everybody ribbed me about it. Just after lunch, wind picked up on the cliff above and dropped a mock apple 152 meters straight down onto my head. Fortunately, I still had that brain case on.
How accurate would you say the predictions are?
If you want an exact estimate or percentage, talk to them. As for me, I just got that, anecdotal feedback. A few times, I couldn't make heads or tail of half of it. Like, avoid anything representing whole numbers? I didn't know what to do about that. So I just stayed put. End of the day, I'm still here, and my co-occupant Ike isn't. So, I guess them prognostications work well enough.
So they've helped you.
You did catch the part I said they saved my life, right? I think alive is a notable improvement on dead. That's something you can take to the bank, you know? Figuratively speaking. I don't know why the other displaced have been so slow to take to them. But I'm not complaining too loud. Waited for my latest POPs long enough already.
Okay. So what's it all mean? So apparently there's another... Oh, voice of the displaced. That's right. Again?
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another cop?
Oh. Administrator Agarwal. Here to finally hash this out, are you? Thought this day would never come.
Yes, well, our esteemed outsider here has agreed to thoroughly appraise our situation, in the hope that we may finally close the book on the exclusion zone once and for all.
They say you asked around. Listen to folks. That's a good start, at least.
Speaking as a representative of the Order, we will abide by the Mediator's decision if you do the same.
Agreed.
Mediator, I leave the fate of the exclusion zone in your capable hands.
Oh my. Let's talk about the displaced.
I'm all ears, Mediator.
Yeah, what about these altercations?
The what now?
When grievances between the displaced approach fisticuffs, we hire Sub Rosa hooligans to duke things out for us.
That is unquantifiably absurd.
Fair.
And I don't see how moving into the exclusion zone will help.
That's right. Overcrowding leads to conflict.
Unproductive is one thing. Paid Donnybrooks with surrogate fighters is... well, I'm at a loss for an applicative metaphor to describe it.
Collapsed structures? Do those bother you?
Collapsed. But we built Matriarch's Mercy to optimize comfort and safety.
I'm guessing you're saying this wasn't an official structure. More of a hastily assembled, precariously built shanty.
That would be it. Refugees shouldn't have to build this way.
People are struggling to make do with what they have. If we had the exclusion zone, this wouldn't be a problem.
I'm aghast these structures weren't built following established Order construction guidelines.
I spoke to the doctor.
I understand he is rather short-handed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Someone should get right on that, huh? Anyhow, what was the good doctor's diagnosis?
Yeah, he has meds, but he can't cure overcrowding.
At Auntie's Choice, we'd view this from a lens of how sickness undercuts productivity.
That is indeed unfortunate, but the dangers predicted for the exclusion zone may outweigh these concerns.
Okay, let's talk about the Order side of things.
Speak on them.
Talk to Rollo about the predictions and their
Did he
usefulness.
also happen to mention they were needlessly oblique and vague?
Yeah, he did, actually. Yeah, waste a lot
Order
of time.
predictions are steadily improving in accuracy and scope.
No, of course they are.
Someday, they'll provide us a clear map of our shared future.
See that? They get more than a touch defensive when you poke holes in their sacred predictions.
I also spoke with Vicar Onready about her support for the
You
displaced.
mean that missionary type who's always talking at everybody instead of to them?
She means well.
Mathematics is the hidden language of the universe which unites us all. The closer we come to understanding it, the closer we come to true understanding.
I haven't heard that much sugarcoating outside of an Auntie's suppository ad. But fine. Whatever you say.
And then also spoke with Plotnik.
You actually got the Provisioner to give you the time of day. Huh.
Ah, yes. I sometimes forget Provisioner Plotnik is also assigned to minding the displaced's needs. Her role is largely proactive, while mine is reactive.
Yeah, she keeps them supplied except for space and building supplies.
If the Provisioner's booked up, I say redeploy another egghead at the matter.
It's less of an issue of personnel as it is of safety. Contrary to your assumptions, we do care about your collective and individual well-being. By my calculations, you've explored this topic from every conceivable angle. Admirable work, Mediator. I suspect that your sympathies lie with the displaced. Unfortunate if true, but I leave the decision in your capable hands.
Yes, I rule for the displaced.
Ah, if this is the fate that was augured, then I will not complain, though it goes against my very nature. Please, be safe. That's all I ask.
Not to worry, Administrant. The exclusion zone is our problem now. Here. You stay out of trouble. We'll try and do the same.
Did she give me a gun? I like people who give me guns. First SMG. 25 times 4, uses short rounds, and has room for 2 mods. 100 damage, not bad. Rate of fire isn't great. I don't know that it's really an improvement. What is important, however, is that we've leveled up. So I guess everything's going to level 4. And one thing can go to level 5. Oh, that's always the tricky part. Seems like we recently looked at something where we needed more skill. I'm going to go with engineering. And then perks. Your modded weapons now deal bonus damage, increasing with your engineering skill. You unlock an additional weapon equipment slot. Increase damage. Gain a bonus to critical hit chance. You can now fire while sliding, mounting, and mantling and sprinting. Bounty terminals now have an option to immediately cash out bits by hacking into bank accounts. Okay. Your companions will gather crafting materials. Electrotherapist. You now apply electrocuted faster while dealing shock damage. The weak automechs become scrambled rather than paralyzed when reaching max shocks. While using tactical time dilation, you gain an increased evasion chance. Wow. Wholesale spending. Buying or selling items with a vendor accrues goodwill. After acquiring enough, you gain a permanent discount. Well, that's nice. Your speech scales damage. You can bribe more effectively. When your health hits 25%, the gas energy deflection apparatus gadget automatically activates. Rapid recharge. Recharges faster. Pickpocket. You gain the ability to pickpocket others. Inspiring Commander. Kills scored by you or your party charge each companion's companion ability a small amount. You can hack auto mechanicals. Special weapons and assault rifles slowly reload automatically. Wow. 50% magazine size. That's a lot. That one's tough to ignore. Okay. And looks like the companions have some opportunities. So we can either improve his scrap engineering, or now it periodically calls out enemies he spots. We'll go with scrap. And then Inez Experimental biomass conversion. Interesting. Or drug conversion. We'll go with that. Okay.
What happened to this place?
I don't know. The important thing is, we're better off. We've leveled up.
Look on the bright side.
And we're better equipped for the dangers that lie ahead.
The Protectorate and the Order?
Yeah, that's a ticket.
Reminds me of Tau Ceti right after the merger. Had to wait for my number to be called just to get rations and a cot. Hope these folk don't have to wait as long.
So... investigate the in-range. Search the camp. Kill the Dunsany brothers. We've got a lot of bounties to pursue. Something to look forward to next time.
I can't recall.
Might want to check our ammo.
Region was silent.